Oh, this is so wonderful because like when your assets are tied to your company and your company's performance, Mark Zuckerberg literally lost $7 billion in a matter of a few hours when Facebook just went down. Whistleblower comes out, gives all this information that Facebook is here. Here's the TLDR before we get into it. One, whistleblower comes out, finds information that Facebook is purposely ignoring and refusing to admit to investors that if they were to crack down on the misinformation, that would be devastating for their bottom line. Two, they're also saying, or she's also saying that like Instagram, for example, is actually really bad for the mental health of young teenagers. This is like Facebook's own internal investigations. And she is refusing to she brings this up. They don't give a fuck. Their business model is just fraught with fraud, okay, and fraudulent activities. So, you know, she takes this information to the federal authorities and she takes this information to the media. Boom, dude. All of a sudden, Facebook not looking too great. And then to pile on top of that, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp all go down. Now, we don't know what the extent of this fucking outage is, but we know that employees and their badges aren't even fucking working right now. Like, they can't even have access to facilities. So shit is popping the fuck off currently. Instagram's not working. Facebook's not working. WhatsApp's not working. Everything that's connected to Facebook is not working as it stands. And it's global too. And it's fucking awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I'm sorry, but it is wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. I don't know how fucking real this is. Like, I don't know what any of this shit means. Here's Andre explaining. He says, to get a sense of how damaging this is, imagine a large shopping mall and all the roads leading to it were instantly replaced with soil and vegetation as if they never existed to begin with. Is that a terrible analogy? Really? I mean, I have some fucking IT Andes in here, CompSci Andes. I don't know. I don't understand it. It looks like this was a BGP update to their routing infrastructure that went poorly. The engineers that manage the devices don't have physical access to the devices they managed. This is exacerbated by WhatsApp being their internal messaging system and being offline. Yeah, that's kind of fucked up. Aren't you supposed to not get high off your own supply, dude? Facebook is not going anywhere, from what I understand. It's just that the roads to Facebook are currently gone, and they have to figure out a way to recreate those roads. As long as there's like some kind of backup, they should be able to do that, right? Confirm the DNS records that tell systems how to find Facebook.com or Instagram.com got withdrawn this morning from the global routing tables. Can you imagine working at Facebook right now when your email no longer works? All your internal Facebook-based tools fail. We don't know why this change was made. It could well have been the result of an internal system-wide change or update that went awry. It's all speculation at this point. Why? Facebook alone is in control over its DNS records. To be more precise, and Geek Factor 5, the BGP routes serving Facebook's authoritative DNS were withdrawn, rendering all Facebook domains inaccessible. That's per Doug Midori, who knows a few things about BGP/DNS. Let's talk about the fucking Facebook whistleblower, and this will perfectly tie into the Facebook outage, which are, as far as we know, unrelated to one another, but Facebook is down currently.
Is Frances Haugen. That is a fact that Facebook has been...
Yes, the whistleblower will be sued into oblivion by Facebook, 100%. Going to the federal authorities is one thing, and they would try to punish you, but going to the media with, like, proprietary and classified information, the American government will not defend you on that. There's, like, SEC whistleblower protections, light whistleblower protections. Just take that with a grain of salt. We don't actually care about whistleblowers in this country. We fucking murder them, or we fucking, I mean, look at Julian Assange. Look at fucking Edward Snowden. Look at Chelsea Manning, friend of the show. We literally torture whistleblowers in this country. Facebook will do everything it can to just fucking destroy this person's life. Serious question. What's going to happen when, like, they fucking figure out the DNS problem and the roads are leading back to Facebook? And then when we arrive at Facebook, all of a sudden it's like a lot of this information has been deleted, surprisingly. You know, maybe even information that could be used in court currently, or information that was going to be subpoenaed, for example. I mean, there's literally an ongoing investigation into Facebook at the moment. You know, this dropped, and then the Wall Street Journal did the series called The Facebook Files. Facebook stocks dropped 5.5%. What's happening? Wait, won't that end up screwing them over? No, because the investigators that deal with this shit... Dude, here's the issue. Facebook takes advantage. A lot of the big tech companies take advantage of the lack of knowledge that even people like myself demonstrate on how any of this stuff works, right? They literally, no one knows. No one knows how this shit works except for all the fucking nerds in my chat, apparently, right? Like, you think some fucking 89-year-old that's like sitting on one of these committees that's supposed to be looking into Facebook's like malpractice, you think they're gonna know anything? No, they don't understand it. Facebook could literally be like, we investigated ourselves, and yeah, it's just crazy how so much information has just been lost. It's wild. And a lot of that information is already proprietary too. But more importantly than that, I feel like it's very difficult. It's like very difficult to figure all this stuff out. This is literally every capitalist company. Like, this argument could be extended to DuPont Chemical literally fucking not properly taking care of its toxic waste, or even using like Teflon that poisons people and gives its workers and also others cancer. It can be deployed for Monsanto. It can be deployed for ExxonMobil knowingly polluting the planet, even though back in 1985, they figured out that they were contributing to anthropogenic climate change. This is literally every single fucking company. Every single one of them does this shit. Every single one. This itself is also kind of fucked because like the punitive measures of Facebook don't come from participating in genocide and facilitating genocide, or fucking knowingly like harming its consumers, spreading misinformation because it would otherwise like, you know, hurt its profit motive. But the real fucking crime here in the eyes of the law is knowingly lying to investors, dude. Just think about that, dude. Think about that. The harm itself is not about fucking becoming a hotbed for misinformation that like your grandparents fucking are gonna die because they didn't get the vaccine. The harm itself is like just, you know, not informing the investors appropriately so they can make the right financial decisions. As far as structural outages goes, Facebook thing is relatively minor, a few hundred of millions of dollars lost at most. If a similar outage hit AWS, Cloudflare, Akamai, etc., no one's credit card would work. I expect the loss would be in the billions, if not trillions. Breaking, Twitter records its highest number of people on its platform at the one time. That's right, baby. This is the Facebook CEO. I have the worst community on the internet. Let's get to the real victims of Facebook's, business model falling apart a little bit. The motherfucker is the merchants of outrage, okay? Outrage is a business model. How Ben Shapiro is using Facebook to build an empire. We already know that. Ben Shapiro got really upset at what was going on with Facebook and Congress actually looking into Facebook. Understand that the Facebook whistleblower story is just the next step in the never-ending Democrat media quest to cudgel Facebook into quashing alternative media. What happened? I thought you guys hated Facebook. I mean, they literally did this. When they were in power, they cry-bullied their way into Republicans in Congress investigating Facebook so that Facebook would no longer censor Republican speech on the platform. And now the Democrats are doing their version of that. And by the way, I do think that like Facebook is horrible, and its misinformation algo 1000% allows Ben Shapiro to maintain relevance while simultaneously making millions of fucking old people more brain poisoned than they previously were. Worse than fucking Fox News. Eric Erickson says the left is out to destroy Facebook because they see it as the one social media platform where conservatives are not censored enough. Everything else they say about privacy, etc., is a smokescreen for the fact that they can't stand that Ben Shapiro and other conservatives do well there. Guys, I was on a panel years ago at VidCon talking about like misinformation, and there was this like expert that they had on. He was like an academic, literally, and I think he was there on behalf of Facebook and like defending Facebook. And on that panel, I literally got up and I was like, this is all fucking horseshit. Facebook is working alongside the Heritage Foundation to game the algo. The Heritage Foundation at the time was literally consulting Facebook to ensure fairness. And what that meant was, of course, the Heritage Foundation, for those of you who don't know, is a right-wing think tank. They traffic in misinformation regularly. This is what they do. This was basically what was going on. The Heritage Foundation had literally been working with Facebook even before conservatives started crying about how Facebook was censoring conservatives. The Facebook whistleblower is one of the most transparent political ploys we've seen in a long time. She's a Democrat operative whose primary beef with Facebook is that they don't censor right-wing content enough. She hasn't revealed any actual secrets about a company, a farce. Yeah, she hasn't. Actually, she hasn't. This is just an admission. These people are literally admitting that Facebook has been helping them, and they're upset that Facebook has been helping them with their misinformation algorithm, that if they curbed back and actually took like a serious approach to dealing with misinformation on the platform, would, in the words of insiders at Facebook, ruin their monetization strategy. Less people would be on the platform overall, less money to make overall.
Yeah. The Facebook whistleblower was Frances Haugen yesterday, and this is the new Facebook whistleblower. And let's look at what she had to say on 60 Minutes.
Misinformation and political unrest.
He started accusing,
the company
he started chastising frauds for being homosexual.
Says evidence shows that the company is lying to the public about making significant progress against hate, violence, and misinformation.
Hate, violence,
when
misinformation.
We live in an information environment that is full of angry, hateful, polarizing content.
Predator
it
took off his
erodes
mask.
our civic trust.
Can you turn around so I can finish?
It erodes our ability to want
The interview.
It's just brilliant commentary, dude. Brilliant commentary from people saying, like, I want to jerk off to her, but I can't because she's unattractive. Meanwhile, you look like this, dude. Like, what are you saying? Do you even, like, it's so fucking corny, dude. It's like weaponized massage. I can't believe that I'm saying this because, like, I make misogynistic jokes from time to time. I make it ironically. People still get mad at me. I make edgy jokes from time to time as well. People still get mad at me. But this is literally like, you couldn't come up with anything clever. So you're just like, oh, that's a woman. So she's, I'm trying to jerk off to her. Like, it's coming from a place where you're not even trying to make a joke. You're just trying to be hateful. You know what I mean? You literally just saw a woman and that's why you're like, yeah, I'm trying to jerk off, but she's ugly. So she needs to turn around. Bitch, casting stones from a glass house. Okay.
Now, to keep Facebook from being dangerous, be aware of what she's saying. It's dangerous if people are allowed to spread misinformation. Well, what's misinformation?
Please read my last message, please.
Yep. That was something. You're not allowed to suggest that originally, right, when they said there would be 2 million deaths in America, you weren't allowed to suggest that would be incorrect. When they said that masks don't work, don't wear masks, you were not allowed to say, actually, that's not true if used in the appropriate hospital setting. And of course, now you're not allowed to say, actually, masks may not be as effective if not used in their appropriate hospital setting with these certain set of guidelines. In those cases, of course, masks are appropriate and masks can work if you follow the guidelines that we've always had for masks. I've got to be very, very careful.
Very careful.
Otherwise, it could be misinformation.
I know.
When you had people saying it was a mortality rate in the general population of 4%. You couldn't say, actually, these doctors say that it is significantly more comparable to, let's just say, less deadly viruses or diseases than one that might kill you at 4% getting into.
What? Dude, this is fucking, he's consistently been wrong from start to finish on everything COVID related. And he's still like, other conservatives at the very least, like, move on from the original misinformation. Steven Crowder's like, nah, I'm bringing that shit back.
You couldn't say, actually, these doctors say that it is significantly more comparable to, let's just say, less deadly viruses or diseases than one that might kill you at 4% getting into borderline polio territory. That's misinformation.
700,000 people have died, dude. 730,000 almost have died since the beginning of COVID. There is no other way to account for the additional deaths that have occurred over the course of the past year and a half. Nothing. And that's in America, by the way. It's just so strange to constantly fucking bring this concept back up and act like fucking doctors are still doing something like strange and suspicious about COVID numbers still.
Let's be really, really clear when she says we want to get misinformation and I lost a friend to misinformation and they continually recite rules like hate speech. If anyone uses the term hate speech, this is someone who believes in an authoritarian government. Hate speech is not a thing. It does not exist. It is not real. It is an all-encompassing term that allows someone to determine what is too offensive to be spoken. See Australia. See Canada, where comedians and pastors get jailed.
Yeah, absolutely.
What? Hate speech is not a thing? What the fuck? No, it's definitely a thing. The pastor was a rapist? Wait, what is this? I love when they fucking make this shit up. Hold on. A Canadian pastor has been jailed over pandemic violations. Alberta police on Monday arrested Pastor Tim Stevens for violating public health codes. Guidelines restrict worship gatherings to 1/3 building capacity, but Fairview shifted services outside. Officers told Stevens they were arresting him for holding an outdoor service that exceeded size limits. Okay, good. They didn't arrest him for fucking hate speech. They arrested him for violating COVID restrictions. Can't say the N-word, authoritarianism. I mean, it's pretty funny. Like, he is basically admitting that.
And people never ask that second question. It's like, oh, well, it sounds good to get rid of disinformation and hate speech.
Sure.
It's like, okay, we'll define it. No, one, nobody can. And two, it will always change because it is not definable. It just depends on who is making the judgment call at this. And we just talked about somebody on Twitter fact-checking an obituary. It's like, okay, come on, guys. Are you the same people telling me on Facebook that this is hate speech? Really?
Yeah, this is what's going on right now in this country. So let's compare that, by the way. What was the coverage of the James O'Keefe whistleblower from Project Veritas? That didn't get a 60-minute special. I wonder if it could be maybe for... can we roll that clip?
Facebook uses classifiers in their algorithms to determine certain content to be what they call vaccine hesitant, or they call it vaccine
his mistake is he brought
without
receipts.
the user's knowledge. They assign a score to these comments that's called the VH score, the vaccine hesitancy score. And based on that score, will demote or leave the comment alone, depending on the content within the comment.
What's your read on this?
The borderline vaccine framework, shocking stories, potentially or actually true. events or facts that can raise safety concerns.
And by the way, we've run afoul of this on YouTube.
Of course.
Potentially.
In the past, where they go, even if you quote the CDC, but it may craft a narrative that might cause vaccine hesitancy.
Bro, it's like they're quoting the CDC and then lying about the quote. You can absolutely fucking use real facts and apply statistical analysis in an inappropriate way in an effort to fucking, you know, garner anti-vax. You just get fucking people to be anti-vax, like, and create vaccine hesitancy. The fuck? Republicans do it all the goddamn time. What a fucking stupid thing. Now that Facebook is down and Instagram is down, I think I should finally make another TikTok, dude. I just don't know how to make one, though. You know what I mean? Like, I literally don't know how to make a TikTok. My 4th ever TikTok. Hold on. I gotta fire one, dude. Hold on. 60-minute segment. Okay, I'm about to post it, dude. Okay, I got it. Are you guys ready for my first TikTok coming back, dude? Oh, here it is. Here you go, dude. One's kind of mid. It doesn't make sense, but we appreciate the content. Omega lol, to be honest. Okay, shut up. I don't know how to fucking do this shit. Okay, fuck you. It's embarrassing. Okay, to be fair though, to be honest, dude, it's Dadaist. It's art. It's pointless. Also quite dangerous since the CRT. Wait, what are the dangers? Because I did more. I blew up a CRT TV while it was on, and it fucking absolutely blew the fuck up. This is my biggest TikTok, dude.
Real funny, guys. Okay, I didn't realize that I was looking. Why didn't nobody warn me? That's not funny. It's not funny that you.
Vacuum tubes can still carry a charge even unplugged. You could have electrocuted yourself. Oh, I did not know that.
Fuck! Oh shit! 50,000.
God damn it, I should have done that when I was like fucking blowing that fucking TV's back out. That would have been a fucking viral vid right there, dude. I can't steal it anymore. It's too late. I already posted. Anyway, it's top of the hour. If you no longer want to see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do it for $5 or you can do it for free. We're going to look at Kirsten Cinema getting yelled at by random people.